Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is amazing to have you here, and today I'm going to give you my thoughts on what I think is probably the most overlooked tank in Era 1. It's a tank we've all seen. Anyone who has made any progress whatsoever along the Russian line will have played it. You'll have likely played it and forgotten it, and I am of course talking about the T-44A, which you are seeing in the gameplay right here. This tank can be overlooked for several reasons. Firstly, you didn't spend a penny on getting one, so from that point of view it has almost no in-game monetary value. It is played by absolutely everybody and can be seen as a bit of a throwaway tank. You know, it's one of those items where once you're done with it, you throw it away. It's like a butt wipe, really. It has a purpose, but once it's been used, you're not going to be using it again. Well, I say that, there are some odd people in the world that maybe you do use your butt wipes twice, and if you do, I'm not going to judge. But anyway, back to the tank. This tank can be seen as a bit of a throwaway tank, because once you've used it, you're probably thinking, alright, there's the lowest level tank done, I'm not ever going back to that, I just had to play it because I had to play it, that's just the way the game is. And this is where my surprise came in, because this tank is not a butt wipe. In my opinion, it's the best starting tank in Cold War. I mean, the Alpha on the upgraded 100mm gun on the 44 is the same as the 165. 320 average damage on the very first tank you can get your hands on in the game that is free. And, I mean, this is where the perspective comes in, because yes, we could have a discussion and say, oh well, there are better tanks in the game than the T-44A. Yes, absolutely, there absolutely are better tanks in the game than this one. But all you did to get this tank was download the game. That's it. That's all you did. Nothing more than that. And you've managed to land yourself with one of the better guns. You've landed yourself one of the better Alpha guns in the whole of Era 1, and in my opinion, that's a pretty good deal. Now, it's likely that some of you watching this are here because you want to know what to do with your setup for the T-44. You might be new to the game, or you just might be new to Cold War and you want to know what the best thing to do is when you're getting started. Here is my setup for the T-44A. In this game, I am running it fully upgraded, apart from the gun. And yes, you did hear me right. I'm not using the top gun, and there is a very good reason for that. The top gun, which is a 122mm, has an average damage of 390. This is very good. In fact, this is so good, it's on par with the Type 773, which is that's the German prototype Leopard 1. This is obviously, you know, that's a top tier Era 1 tank, so you'd expect to have better values up at that level, but to have a gun that has that at the very bottom level, you might be swayed to use that thinking, oh, that's really, really good, I'll use that. But the problem is the 122mm gun has lower penetration on each round than the stock gun for the T-44, and that's a problem. The only other tanks I own that have penetration that is worse than the top gun of the T-44 are the British Lights. But as tanks, they've got other things going for them, so they don't need the gun the same way the T-44 does. You can have all the Alpha in the world, you could have an amazing gun that has these massively high damage values, but if you can't pen anything, your gun is, well, it's useless. So that's the reason why I am not using the fully upgraded gun. I'm not using the 120mm. I'm sticking with the upgraded 100mm, which has 190mm of penetration and 320 average Alpha. This, in my opinion, is a really, really good balance. So that's my tank setup. As far as equipment is concerned, I am running the advanced loader advanced gun laying drive, gun stabilizer, and enhanced target info. Now I know that the enhanced target info is it's a free module because that's what the T-44 comes with. Oh, I thought I was going to get that kill. Missed. Yes, the enhanced target info is free with the tank, so that's just all part and parcel of playing this thing from stock. If you want to change that out, of course, you are within your rights to do that. You are perfectly allowed to do that. No one can say you can't. But personally, I like to keep it in there for all of my tanks. So that's my equipment setup. As far as my consumables go, I am running repair kit, smoke, and med kit. These are all premium consumables. If you don't have the silver for that at the start of your tanking career, which chances are you may not, because it's quite difficult starting out, you can just run with the standard consumables. You should be just fine with that. The T-44 does have one glaring weakness though. That is its armor. Its armor is not anything to shout about. It is not all that good. If we're being honest, it's pretty terrible. But this does present the opportunity for you to learn how to play mediums correctly. You see, mediums are designed to be support tanks, which is exactly what I'm trying to do at the moment, when I can actually hit my shots. Yeah, mediums are support vehicles, so you have good maneuverability, you have a good gun, but your armor is lacking. This means that you need to play from cover to cover. Don't go into a brawl, which is a one-on-one fight at close range. That's kind of, well, that's what heavies could be doing, or should be doing really, not you in a medium. You don't want to get into brawls, and you want to do your best to not be the first one into a fight, or at the very least, you don't want to be you don't want to be alone in a fight. You want to be the player that provides the support to your teammates that are around you. If you can pull that off, you'll be an excellent medium driver. And right here, you can see me breaking from the cover, you can see me breaking from my position of advantage, because for me, at this point in this game, I decided that my role as support was over, because the support that was needed, the tanks that were being shot at, they were all dead. So now is my opportunity to break away from my position of advantage and basically be a little bit more aggressive. And here we are, mopping up the last few tanks that are left on their team. Another advantage of playing the T-44A, or playing it well, is it's fairly easy to get yourself MVPs in the T-44 because it's the lowest tier tank in Era 1. You don't need to do spectacularly well to get an MVP, which, you know, to veteran players, you can probably think of that as, oh well, that's just a bit cheap, really. You're not, you got MVP, but you just chose an easy tank to do it in because you're a veteran. That could be true for veterans, but if you have the perspective of a new player, that's probably encouraging, because it's easy to forget just how difficult this game is, and it's easy to think that I'll just always do well. And it's encouraging if you can get an MVP because you're not at the bottom of the scoreboard, you're on top, like we've just done in this game. So that can be encouraging as a new player. And that's where I think the T-44 is quite good, because you don't have to have a stonkingly good game to get MVP. So that is everything I want to cover on the T-44A. It is a very good tank in my opinion, given the tier and the tier and the era it's at. If you can master this, you'll be well on your way to enjoying your game experience far, far more. And you can get all of that without having spent a single penny on the game. Okay folks, that's about all I have for this one. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, if not a dislike. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and as always, I hope you're all keeping well, and I will see you out there.